Crafting a highly effective and engaging article outline means that you know what you're going to write about. The reader gets the best value consuming your content. It also means that they're more likely to take the next action that you want them to take. So this is a very important step in the content creation process. As a freelancer, I create a lot of SEO articles, and this means that I need to know how to create outlines that help me get the job done. Traditionally, I would just start writing and see what the final result would be. But I quickly learned that creating good outlines is usually a good idea. A good outline helps me to know what I'm going to speak about and ensures that the final result is on point. Because if not, I tend to go off on tangents and ultimately not get to the point where I want to be. In this video, I'm going to run through the process I follow when it comes to creating the right outlines, so you can do the same thing yourself. I'll also touch on how I use artificial intelligence, including 2 specific applications, to help me create even better outlines. So essentially, creating article outlines, or other effective article outlines, is essential for freelance writers. It helps in organizing thoughts and streamlining the writing process. And this is how I do it. So the first thing I do is I start with my own inputs. Basically, this means that I take my life experiences, I take what I want to speak about, and I put it down on paper, or rather in one of my notebooks. I love my Remarkable. It allows me to have multiple notebooks for multiple clients and basically keeps everything organized. Before, I used to have different notebooks for different clients, different projects, and all that, but it quickly got out of hand. Like this, with my Remarkable, I just have different folders where everything is structured. And no, this is not an ad for though Remarkable. If you're watching this, I love your products. Anyway, so I list down my ideas. So I jot down all the ideas that come to mind for the article, and then I organize my thoughts. So I group everything together, and I organize the ideas to form a coherent outline. And in a bit, I'll get to actually creating an outline and show you exactly what I mean. Next, I add and remove as needed. So as I refine the outline, there are different things that do not make sense. There are different things that make sense to be added in different sections. Combining things together is another thing that is also a good practice. And it's not always easy to edit your work as you're writing it or as you're creating the outline. And this is also true when I'm creating my work, my articles, my videos. It's easier for me to just separate things into different buckets, where I'm wearing one hat in one moment and a different hat in a different moment. When it comes to any type of content I'm creating, I always keep the search intent in mind. Whether it's an SEO article where I'm focusing on a specific keyword, whether it's a video that is answering a specific question, any type of content is created with an intent in mind. And the question that I try to always be answering is, if someone watches this video, if someone reads this article, if someone consumes this content, will it help them answer the question that they seek to answer? If someone is searching for the best dog foods, right? Is the article speaking about the best dog foods, or does it go into the history of dogs and different dog breeds? Because all of that is just fluff. It's unnecessary information that doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit me, because I'm writing content that the audience doesn't find useful, and it doesn't benefit the audience, who in this case just want to know what the best dog foods are. And this applies to, again, all types of content that I might be creating. So when creating your outline, it's important to always keep the search intent and purpose of the article in mind. And this is exactly what I'm saying. By aligning the outline with the search intent, I ensure that the content effectively meets the needs and expectations of the audience. If someone keeps on reading, it's a signal to Google that what I'm giving the reader is actually beneficial. Same with YouTube and retention and getting people to watch from start to finish. So keep that in mind. The closer you can align what someone is searching for with what your content actually delivers, the better it will be. Now this might be the part that is the most interesting, and it is how I combine AI to enhance my outline. So what I do is I feed the outline into the AI, and I'm going to mention 2 tools in the next few moments, and I ask the AI tools to analyze and enhance the current outline. With its language learning model, the AI can see any gaps that I might have missed, and it is able to add missing elements. So it identifies gaps and areas for improvement in the outline through its knowledge. So I'm able to get an even better outline. As you can see, I start with my own input, my own knowledge about the topic. And wherever possible, I love creating content about stuff that I have experience in. There are times when clients ask you for articles or content. This is not based on my own experience. In that case, I do my best to research the pain points of the market, what people want, what people desire, because that helps me to put myself in the shoes of the person reading. Again, I wouldn't recommend starting with AI input right off the bat, because I feel that being able to structure an article the way you want it is what will differentiate you from everyone else that is purely using AI. So these are the tools that I use to help me create better outlines. And let's open them up. So first of all, there is Google Bard, and I feel that this is one of the best AI tools to help with creating article outlines. There's also ChatGPT, which is pretty much well known at this point in time. So again, I'm going to be using these two tools and comparing the results that they give in terms of the outline that we will be generating in a little bit. The question that I feel should be considered at this stage is, can AI be used 100% for outlining? And the answer, in my opinion, is still a no. Because AI tools, while helpful, do not provide a complete solution for outlining. There are still gaps that are missing in the outlines generated purely by AI. And at the end of the day, I think it's a human-AI collaboration. Understanding that there is this collaborative process is important. And essentially, if an AI tool can do what a human can do, then it means that there's no need for the human, which I think would be a sad point in time. So I also think that this collaboration is something that is important. Let's create a top-notch outline following this process. So random keyword. So let's generate a random word. So, okay, let's say rest. So sleep. Let's come up with a keyword, which is best tips for rest API, rest day, rest in peace, restore. Best tips for a good nap. Let's go for this. So I'm going to open up a Google Doc and imagine that this is the keyword that we're going to go for. Best tips for a good nap. So the first thing I'm going to do is create an outline based on what I think would be useful in this article. So I think the article should speak about the best times for a nap, how long it should be, do you need supplements to sleep, or what if you can't sleep during the day. Maybe you can mention supplements or answer that question. Your room conditions. So this is the where. Best tips for a nap. Where should you nap? The best times for a nap. How long should it be? And one thing I'll point out here that I won't include something like, is napping good? Because if someone is searching for best tips for a nap, chances are that the person is already convinced that napping is a good thing. So going into is napping good for people wouldn't be helpful for the reader. So where should you nap? I'm trying to think. So best tips for a nap with the people. What is important when it comes to tips? So where should you nap? The best times? How long should it be? What if you can't sleep during the day? And instead of what if you can't sleep, what if you aren't able to nap, can't fall asleep? So that's a bit more clear. So as you can see, I'm just having a look to see if there's anything that I would consider adding in the article. So here is speaking about the when, about the place, about the ideal nap length. There's one point that I think is important. Napping so it doesn't affect night sleep. I think that's also an important point to consider. Let's see if there's anything else. Perfect nap. Benefits of naps, not something I would include in best tips for a good nap. Similar to this. I think someone is already sold on getting a nap, so I don't think that adding the benefits would be something that is important. What I could do is have a separate article that links to that topic. I think that would be more useful if I'm building out a whole content strategy. So where should you nap? Your room conditions, sounds around. So this could be broken down. So light, darkness, are there sounds around, temperature, so how cold or how warm is it, best times for a nap. So actually this I can combine, the best times for a nap. What if you aren't able to nap during the day or in the morning? Let's say that might be the best time to nap, for example. So proven or scientific studies, different people and their preferences. How long should it be? Again, I can have scientific studies here. This I can combine. So napping so it doesn't affect night sleep. I would combine with how long should it be. I want to nap, but I'm not able to fall asleep. Trying to think if, okay, optional section. Do you need supplements to sleep? Do you need, what are those called? Nose patches. Maybe they could help with napping. Do you need sleep masks? So that is a rough outline for that. Let me see if there's anything else. Sleep schedule, afternoons, think ahead, safety first, preempt a night shift, nap smarter, time a try, get a wake-up call. So this is something I can include, get a wake-up call, meditation. So get a wake-up call. So considering how you'll wake up, how long should it be? What happens after your nap? How will you wake up? How to wake up successfully, so because you don't want to keep on sleeping. Ways to wake up. So in a few minutes, I've come up with this outline that could be the base of a good solid article about best tips for a good nap. So now I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to go to Bard and I'm going to ask for ways to improve this article outline. I have an article outline on best tips for a good nap. This is the outline I have so far. How can I make it better? I'm going to copy that. So I paste it into ChatGPT as well. And I'm going to see what comes out. Here's some suggestions for improving your article outline on best tips for a good nap. Title enhancer. Consider adding a more compelling title. Yes, agreed. This is part of the editing. Introductory paragraph, sure. Enhance the where should you nap section. Provide more specific details about ideal napping environments. Emphasize the importance of a quiet, dark and cool room. I think I did that with temperature, or that is where I would include it. Include information about earplugs, eye masks and blackout curtains. Earplugs, eye masks and blackout curtains. So I would include that under the optional part. Do you need nose patches, sleep? Okay, eye masks, I guess is what they're called, and blackout curtains. So I would combine those sections together. Let's see if there's anything else. Scientific evidence, yes, agreed. Personalized nap recommendations. Acknowledge that individual preferences and needs vary when it comes to napping. Provide suggestions for people who struggle to fall asleep or experience grogginess after napping. So what I will do is I will include that here. What happens, how to wake up successfully and avoid grogginess. I think that is important. So you're addressing both the people that want to move towards pleasure, so to speak, and those that want to avoid pain. They want to avoid grogginess. Expand how long it should be. Sleep cycles. Okay, I wouldn't really go into it, but I would mention it. 7 plus sleep cycles. So I would make it more scientific by including sleep cycles. Discuss nap times and night sleep. Yes, nap aftermath. Yeah. Okay. Address optional sections. Okay, visual enhancements. Alright, let's see what chat has come up with. Expand on context and variety. Where to nap? So for these pros and cons of each in terms of, so I will speak about different places and I will speak where. So this should be places. And then for each, I'll address these elements as well as the pros and cons of the different places. Individual differences, deepen research, practical tips. How long should it be? Include a small table or list for different purposes. Okay, how long should it be? Small table or list, recommended nap lengths. How long should it be? So here, I think that makes sense. A small table or list of recommended nap lengths for different purposes. I like that. So, address common problems. What if you aren't able to nap? I think we do that already. Directive elements, the checklist or quiz. Not necessarily, because this is best tips for a good nap. I'm just providing tips. Optional section, reference, visuals, expert opinion. And that could be great. So here, I think expert opinions might be important. Expert opinions on these optional items. So, let's have a look. So this is best tips for a good nap. So the person reading this article or watching this video is probably interested in getting better or the best types of naps. They are already sold on the fact that napping is important. They want to know how to enhance the time they spend napping. So we're going to speak about where they should nap, including the places and the different conditions in these places, along with the pros and cons of each. We're going to speak about the best times for the best nap. Then we're going to speak about tips related to length. We're going to give tips on what happens after your nap, so how to wake up successfully, how to avoid grogginess, and the different ways to wake up. Then we're going to have an optional section with more tips about supplements, accessories, along with expert opinions on these optional items. So the best could also be list of specific recommendations. So these are the best nose patches, these are the best eye masks according to this expert, these are the best blackout curtains. So just like that, I have a solid outline for my article. It's an outline that started with me coming up with my own ideas. Then I did some quick Google research. And finally, I used artificial intelligence to help boost my outline. If you start with just an AI outline, it's never as complete as this. You end up with generic information that doesn't allow you to really address the search intent. And for me, that is the most important thing. Crafting a highly effective and engaging article outline means that you know what you're going to write about, means that the reader gets the best value for the time spent reading your article or watching your video, consuming your content, and it also means that they're more likely to take the next action that you want them to take. So this is a very important step in the content creation process. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button. It's very important for me as I'm growing this channel to know that you are finding this content valuable. And if you want to get started with freelancing, check out the link in the description where I show you exactly what you need to do in a checklist format so you can get started as quickly as possible. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video.